Hello everyone, I'm Heather Vitale for Harness Racing Update. It's day 5 and also the final session for the Lexington Selected Yearling Sale. Now, just a couple of days ago, the weather was in the 70s, and now tonight, we're expecting it to be in the 50s. Although the temperature has dropped significantly, the enthusiasm around this sale definitely has not. Diamond Creek Farm kicked off the night with their annual beach party, complete with inflatable palm trees and flamingos, and plenty of leis, of course. The festive get-together is a celebration for their stallion, Down by the Seaside, who is the leading money-winning sire of 3-year-olds in the country this year. While Down by the Seaside, who stands in Ohio, is getting the most attention, for good reason, there were other Midwest sires whose foals were heading into the sales ring for many optimistic consigners. Senena, tonight has kind of a different feel or vibe to it, right? So tell me, what is this session all about?
So this has kind of become more of the regional session. Really a focus on our outstanding Ohio horses, Indiana, just kind of the regional session. So there's a lot of buzz, a lot of excitement, especially, and again, for Ohio, the horses like Down by the Seaside, and our purses have gotten so much stronger in Ohio that there's got to be the excitement. So,
yeah, you're mentioning, of course, Ohio. Your farm is in Ohio, so tell me about Springhaven.
Yes, so we own Springhaven Farm, and it's my husband Jeff and myself. And goodness, we've been there a lot of years. Everybody's welcome to stop and visit. We're in Utica, Ohio. Yeah, we roughly have about 80 brood mares. So, yeah.
So then how many yearlings have you sold during this week, like total when it's all said and done?
We have 62 yearlings, yes, and that's a lot of good agent horses, and we're very blessed to have people think enough of us to represent them, and they're good yearlings.
Now tonight, since the focus is, like we talked about, it's a regional deal going on, how many tonight? And I know you've got Down by the Seasides, but you've got other sires too.
Right, absolutely. So I'm going to say 21, 22 head going through tonight, and it's going to be a busy night, exciting night, we certainly hope. And yeah, I think we've got 8 Down by the Seasides. We've got a couple really good Yankee Cruisers. We've got a Racing Hill, and they've had a really good year as well. And then for Indiana, we've got a couple really good Swan for Alls. Back to Canada. Canada has been really good to us. So we've still got some Canadian breds left. So, yeah.
So cool. Yeah. Now, can you pick out one that I might want to see walk through the sales ring tonight? And, I love my flashy horses. If you guys have been watching the HRU updates, anything you got for me?
So, yes, I do. Just because hip number 812 is a beautiful gray or roan Down by the Seaside. So you better watch him. Yeah, he's quite a standout. And besides him being gray, he's a really nice, conformationally perfect individual.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, I cannot wait. Yeah. Now, I know that you were very excited going into the sale. Still, your excitement's high. You've had a good sale this year?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel that we've, had one of our better sales. And I think most of the consigners have the same consensus. It's just been a really strong sale throughout. And, of course, that later night kind of tails off a little bit more. But this is kind of like a whole new sale starting tonight. So yeah, we definitely have the excitement. We've been a very busy consignment back here throughout the day and this morning. So.
All right. Well, thank you. And I will put Springhaven on my traveling bucket list. So expect to see me at some point. I can't wait.
Please do. Thanks so much.
And it was fitting that a yearling early in the sale to throw a $200,000 price up on the board was a Down by the Seaside foal and was signed by Brian Brown, who was the Great Pacers trainer. Hip number 809, a filly named Behest, was consigned by Hunterton. So Brian, what did you love about that filly?
Well, she was well conformed. We liked her looks, loved her family, which I had her mother. And she didn't have the best conformation, but she was a sister to Art Speak. And my guys bought her pretty cheap as a broodmare. She tried hard, just couldn't stay sound. This one had great conformation, so we really liked her.
Now, of course, then you had the mommy and the daddy, right? Like, how amazed are you and how happy are you to see these Down by the Seasides do so well?
Well, very proud of Down by the Seaside. He's been one of the favorites for a long time. We had 3 really good horses that year that you know, they went to the top of the list as the favorites. They were that good. But for Seaside to do him what he's doing is pretty incredible.
Yeah. So tell us about Down by the Seaside as a racehorse and what you think he's passing along to his foals.
Well, I would say it's the speed first. Looks. He was a great looking horse. We went back and looked at that horse 3 times before the sale. He didn't have the greatest pedigree on the first dam. The second and third dam was good, but at that time we weren't spending a lot of money, so we had to buy looks before conformation or before breeding. But he was just a great looking horse, and of course I love Sun Beach. He was great to me. So we really wanted that horse. We were fortunate. We probably weren't going a lot more than the $65,000 we gave for him. But looks, speed, and guts. Seaside, he wanted to go fast all the time. And he didn't care if he was on the front or the outside. He liked to bully horses and try to run them in the ground.
So how many do you think you're going to get from the sale? Now, I don't mean just Seasides. I'm talking like day 1 through day 5. How many do you think your total, what's your total going to be?
I think we're at 10, maybe 11 right now, and would like to probably get 3 more.
Okay, all right. And I am hoping to see that filly that you got for $200,000 on Twos in Training coming up in the spring, like is one of your favorites.
Well, I hope she looks as good as we think she did. Hopefully she looks as good then. But I hope you're right and you'll be there to talk to us.
Yeah, I will be, or I got to give my plug to my girl Heather Wilder. She gets to take the Florida trips. I end up in the cold weather. I don't know how that happened. And she gets to be in Florida. So, but you'll be at Spring Garden, right?
Right. Heather did a really good job the last couple years.
Yeah, she's spectacular. All right, well, get to bidding. I don't want to keep you from work anymore.
All right, thanks.
In addition to that $200,000 yearling, Hunterton also consigned the first 6-digit seller of the session, and it happened to be a Swan for All filly with hip number 800 named Coddle, who brought $100,000 and was signed by Irv Miller for Dr. Anthony Lombardi. And Hunterton also consigned a Rockin' Image colt named Swaggy Cal. Hip number 876 brought $130,000 and was signed by Greg Luther. But it was definitely Down by the Seaside who was the star sire of this night. The Ohio Stallion had several offspring, bringing over $100,000, including hip number 869, 25, a colt out of Hula Shuffle, who was bought by Burke Racing for $150,000 and consigned by Diamond Creek. Oh, and remember that beautiful gray Down by the Seaside colt from Spring Haven we saw earlier in the show? Well, congratulations to Dennis Owens, the new owner of Sierra Express, for a price of $80,000. Dave, I thought tonight's regional sale just went so well.
It did. Before we start with the session tonight, we just got to give a little shout out to Dave Brower. News came today that lost a friend of the industry, and he was a good man. And I know a lot of his colleagues were around here this week, and it's a little bit tough to take. But a little shout out to Dave. Big loss for the industry. But Session went well. Session was nice to see a new set of crowd come in, new faces, and it's always good. They have a lot of fun here when they come down here, and it was a good session overnight. It was even year over year, which is great. It held its average, and it really just capped off a great week, as we've been talking about all week before. And I think we broke the record obviously last night, but we exceeded 65 million, which is one for the record books. And I'm not going to make an opinion about any future years, but that's going to be a tough one to snap, I think. So.
Well, definitely, I felt like tonight kind of made me want to put a bikini on and some sunscreen, down by the seaside, and just the way he's making an impact on the Grand Circuit. I mean, wow, and tonight showed people wanted down by the seaside.
Absolutely. And listen, he won the stake race over there at the Red Mile. Been with him all year, and he's obviously a great sire. He's off to a great start. He's a young sire, but he's off to a great start. Proven on all circuits, and the Trotters held up well. Swan for All's held up well in Indiana, and it's a fun night. It definitely is. Joe McLeod came in here, sold the highest price yearling he ever sold, and it's exciting for breeders like that. And that's what we're here. Provide a venue. We're lucky to be able to provide it. Luckily, the buyers are here, and it was just capped off a great night for sure and a great week.
Yeah. I do want to say, it's so many, day one is great, but this is one of my favorite nights. I love there's Ohio and Illinois, Indiana people are here. Everybody's having such a great time. It's such a cool vibe, and people are ready to get that next champ on their sire stake. I love it.
They're ready to get on. And it is, in fairness, it's a great night to look forward to. And, a lot of times you lose a little steam going through the week, but, tonight you just pick it right back up and you gain momentum and you end on a good note for the yearlings. And, we're rolling to the mixed sale tomorrow night, but it was, you're right there. They're a lot of fun. And, they got horses being dressed up and wearing things around their neck and all, so I'm not really a beach person, but I don't blame them for the prices they're bringing for sure. So.
Yeah, good stuff. All right. Thanks, Dave. Thanks for having HRU cover the sale. We've just had a great week.
Yeah, hopefully you cover it tomorrow night too. We have a little dispersal. It's not time for you to go to the beach yet. So. One more night before you go. All right.
All right.
No,
thanks.
Thank you, and thanks for all the people watching online and participating on Proxy Bid. They had a good night Proxy Bid. A lot of them sold online tonight. So, from around the globe, we're obviously we're happy that people are watching and participating, and that's what we really want to encourage.
Thank you so much for joining me this week from the 2022 Lexington Selected Yearling Sale. Now, tomorrow is the mixed sale, and we won't be covering that. However, you can get all the information on that auction at harnessracingupdate.com and, of course, at lexingtonselected.com. I really had so much fun this week, and I hope you did as well. But I am signing off from Kentucky. I'm Heather Vitale for Harness Racing Update.